a great stream.
Thank you, King Nemo Julian, you big blessed bastard. Oh, we can make it before the bus. Go, go, go. So yeah, we're just driving for a bit because I want to get to a location where I know we can take a bit of a walk. Without losing connection. And then we're gonna try something new. Well, some people may say it's new, some people may say it's like whatever. I say it's pretty interesting. I think it's interesting. I'm giving you a turn signal for a reason. Because I got a turn here and you're slow. We'll follow the tractor. So yeah, hopefully the connection is not too bad either. There's a few things that has changed since last time we did an IRL stream with the setup, so we shall see how well that works or if it's just even worse.
Unusual_freak says, how cold is it for you today?
Right now the car says 7 degrees Celsius, so it's not too bad. I did bring the drone as well. I'm not sure we're going to fly it, but I figured why not. But yeah, it's going to be dark in like minus 15 minutes because the sun has already set. But I figured I might as well do a quick little stream before we go back and have a movie night on Prometheus. And I was like, one thing is thinking about doing stuff, and another thing is just doing stuff.
Unusual_freak says, slightly colder here. Oh, the drone could be cool.
Yeah. So today, instead of just thinking about doing stuff, we're actually doing stuff. Which is going to be one of the new themes of what I'm going to be doing. Is just do it. I don't know, that sounds like, oh yeah, that's super easy, just do it. We've heard that a million times before, but this time we're actually doing it. Because I've got plans. The sky is super pretty right now.
Julian says, average bitrate 4,700
Hell yeah.
kilobits per second.
That is a lot higher than it used to be. That is crazy.
Unusual_freak says he's a man with a plan.
He's a man with a plan. We'll see if he can do it or if he's just talking. Fuck yeah. Hopefully the signal is stable and we're not just having really high spikes. That makes it look like it's good. But assuming... So Julian is asking what the stream quality is like every 10 seconds. He's like constantly asking the server like, what's the stream quality? What's the stream quality? What's the stream quality? Tell me! Which is great. It's like that tiny child that's like, are we there now? Are we there now? And he's constantly asking. It's super great. So I don't have to. And then FM Monster Cat playlist on.
Sure, asking SoundCloud to play Monster Cat Uncaged Volume 1 by Direct, Anevo, Richki, Orbiter, Glacier, Mern, Reach, Quiet Disorder, Tokyo Machine, Duamu, Monster Cat, Hazo, Slips, Slurs, Stone.
I don't know if you can see it, but look at that beautiful moon.
Unusual_freak says welder died for a second.
Oh, rip. Rip. Although, to be fair, we are in the middle of nowhere, so out here the signal is like, what? Excuse me? Also got a few ideas for modifications for the backpack, but we'll take that slowly. Some of them are like really easy, non-costly adjustments, like moving the camera from one shoulder to the other because it makes sense. Because right now the mount is actually on the right side of me, which when I was just thinking about it this afternoon, it's like that doesn't really make any sense because I am right-handed. So a lot of the time if I do anything, like pick up a bottle to drink or whatever, I'm actually obscuring the camera with my arm. Whereas if I had it on the left side, you wouldn't see it as much. Like you would still see me raise my hand, but you wouldn't see my entire arm obscuring your view. And walking on the roads, the camera would be on the outer side, so instead of being in the middle of the road, like looking towards traffic, it would be on the outside, which means you get to see more of what's going on that's not road. Small stuff. It probably would feel a lot safer as well, because when it's on my right shoulder, I walk on the left side of the road. As I said, camera is closer to the cars, and it looks very close when you're looking at VODs. Looks like we're getting run over. Not like half a meter or however wide my shoulders are, it's going to make a difference. I can tell you that much. Somebody lost their panties on the sign. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. But yeah, as you can also see, I no longer have channel points, I no longer have subscribe button, I no longer have bits button. All of that stuff is gone. Gone goodbye. Out the window. And I'll tell you guys why later. What is that? That's a can. Okay. Somebody had thrown a can on the road. That's not nice. Not very nice.
Stream11 says thank you for following up the Ripples smiley face.
Thank you for the follow up, the Rebels. Welcome. Ooh, that is a giant hair on the field. I wish I could grab the camera and show you guys, but while we're driving, that's not a good idea.
Origami Pete says hi track.
Hey Pete, how are you doing? Welcome to the shenanigans stream of out and about and walking around.
Says what's going on.
So what is going on is we're going to find a place in a second where I can park the car so we can walk about. It's going to be great. And then we're going to go for a bit of a walk and talk while we're walking and look at the beautiful nature and the sunset and all of that fun stuff. I think we might as well park up here. I don't know how many people is here. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit anymore. It doesn't look like there's anyone though. Well, I do give a shit, but to be honest, who want to be outside in this? Well, I would be outside in this beautiful weather. We've been here recently. This is where we did the campfire stream. It looks like there's been a tractor here recently too. So yeah, give me a second and we should be out and about and walking.
Julian says average bitrate 4,706 kilobits per second.
All the kilobits.
Unusual underscore freak says P.
So I'm just thinking, because normally what I do is I take the camera and I put it on the backpack. But because we're talking a lot today, I think I might as well put it on the selfie stick. It's going to be looking hilarious when I put it on the backpack. But also I can point the camera in whatever direction I want then. And I'm not obstructed to the shoulder. And I think it'll give you guys a bit more of like quality content. We shall find out. Hello, hello, it's me. Your friendly neighborhood troll. Alright, I was looking for the tripod and it's like, it's already attached. That's not going to work. As you can see, it's still on a wire. No longer wireless. Well, we're not, never been wireless. Hello, hello. See if I can do this without like tilting you guys everywhere. Right, let's go. Look at those tractor trails. It's definitely muddy out here, that's for sure. So yeah, welcome to this beautiful area where you can see the sun is gone.
Says better have some water with you, Trank.
Good point, good point. It's actually in the car. It was just not attached to the backpack, so I didn't think about that. Good. Good call. Good call. I didn't lock the car either, so that's that would have been even better. I've got the water. I actually remember it today. Can you believe it? Oh, that is beautiful. You probably can't see that, that's super far away, but up in the sky there's a plane that's flying, and the trail the plane is leaving has the orange color of the sun. So it's like an orange trail instead of like the usually white fluffy cloud trail. That's pretty cool. I feel like it's colder than the, I said 7 degrees or 9 degrees.
Freak says good. I'm very proud, Chroma 12 hard.
I'm proud too. I actually remembered something. Look at that. I'm gonna have to wash my shoes before I go home. ASMR, nature and all of that fun stuff. Don't you just love it? I love this area though. It's like a really pretty area. I'm kind of curious what they've been doing with the tractor.
Kindle No Julian says average bitrate 3,575 kilobits per second.
Although this does not look like tractor trails actually, now that I think about it. Like there has definitely been a tractor, but it has been hauling what could look like a cart. Because if you look at the tracks, you have the tractor that's slightly wider and then you have the thinner like truck tires, it looks like. But it's probably a trailer, not a truck. Nice. So yeah, I decided to cancel my affiliate contract because cliffhanger, no, because of a lot of reasons, and they are not necessarily what you think they might be. It's not like we got into a fight with Twitch and they decided to cancel the affiliate contract because of stuff and banned me and stuff like that. No, it's less dramatic than that, unfortunately. Although I say unfortunately, it's probably a good thing. I want to get around up there. Also, sorry if some people have motion sickness and I'm like turning the camera real quick, but I want to get up through the path up there and up to the campfire site. Because I think we might have a chance of like actually looking at the sunset up there. Or not the sunset, but like the sky from the sunset. But yeah, I'm going to be strategizing or changing up a few things at least when it comes to how I'm creating content. And I think it's about time start doing something about it rather than just pissing about and not like just faffing about, not having any direction whatsoever. And it's going to be difficult, it's going to be a lot of hard work, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Because I am already like just the things that I'm researching is quite enjoyable. And it kind of ties into the new job as well. Not necessarily the streaming part, but more all of the figuring out what's going on the internet around the world kind of deal. Not that I'm the specialist, but it doesn't hurt knowing a few things.
Origami Pete says Gabby, why?
Okay, I take that back. I definitely don't think it's 8 degrees outside, because the ground here looks frozen. So like this has probably been in the shadow all day, of course, but like since last night, there's still a bit of ice like on the grass here. I was about to ask, why are we saying why to Gabby? But it's just because you said, Gabby, why? Lots of why. Damn.
Julian says average bitrate 4,346 kilobits per second.
I need to go out.
Unusual_freak says I can't wait to see what you're up to, Trank. It seems exciting. Says, come join
I don't know if it's super exciting, but I think it's gonna be some of the ideas I have might be a bit of a game changer for some things in the world. And I'm saying that as if it's like something huge and it's never been done before. It's probably been done 1,030,000 times before. But it's a few things that came up when I was watching a bunch of stuff on the internet around, and it's like gave some sort of inspiration as to what, like right now just streaming because I think it's fun. But also we have the possibility of actually making a huge change in the world when it comes to certain things. Like how do you work from home is one of the things, which live streaming gives a ton of tools, as well as the gaming community itself. And all of these tools, we're not using them, like because nobody, like gaming is such a minute little detail in how the world works today compared to how big the world is. So the amount of people that actually know what's going on when it comes to like using Discord and streaming and proper like setup of like virtual offices and stuff like that, it's non-existent. So that's one thing. And then like what I'm doing, where we're basically walking around, being live and out and feeling nature and like looking at that beautiful skyline, thinking, what the hell? Why are there trees in the way? But like, if you can imagine the trees weren't there, you could see a beautiful sunset or something similar. Like, I'm just kidding. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I can actually show how beautiful it is with the camera. But yeah, that also means because I'm no longer affiliated, there's a bunch of stuff that comes with that. I might get into that, but it means I don't have channel points. So now you guys can't yell at me for hydrating. Well, you can in chat.
Freak says if you're excited about it and you think it's a good idea, I'm cool with that. It's all it matters. See you as a person evolve and just flourish. Get down with your ideas and search. I think it's exciting.
I agree with you on that. It's about being excited about what we're excited about. This is gonna topple over. This is not gonna stand, is it? Oh, nope. Look at that train. It's one of those things that I say as well to some of my friends is, I don't care what you care about. And it's not because I'm rude. It's more, I care about the fact that I can tell that you care. Like I can see on your face when you're talking about something that you care about, that you find interesting. I can see it on your face that you get excited and your eyes light up and you're just like, yes, I know what it is I want to do. Like that feeling. Some people, when I see that, it's like, yes, talk about it. I don't necessarily care about it, but tell me about it because I want to see that excitement on your face. So yeah, let me just catch my breath because I can't breathe and I'm a terrible human who sits inside all day and has no cardio. And while I'm doing that, I might as well drink, right? And then I'll get into exactly why I decided to cancel my contract. and we can talk a bit about that. I need to find out something that works with the selfie stick. Maybe it needs to be cut a bit. Like not the length of the stick, but the little screw is too long. So the camera's like constantly turning on it. It's great. So yeah, long story short, I decided to cancel my affiliate contract because the affiliate contract is, when you think about it, a massive scam on Twitch's side. And I'm saying scam, which is not necessarily a nice thing, because it's not illegal what they're doing. Not at all. It's extremely clever, the things that they're doing. But they are also taking away a ton of stuff from the people that they actually work with, that you can't just, like, the thing is, if an affiliate makes it and you become big on Twitch and you made it, you have a lot of viewers, you're making a lot of money, you made a brand, you have face like your face has value. If all of those things somehow happen, like if that somehow happens to you, that's amazing, that's great. But if you are an affiliate and a partner with Twitch, Twitch essentially owns that. So all of the things that you accomplish on the platform as Twitch while being affiliated and while being partnered is essentially their property. They can take all of the stuff, all of the content you produce, use it for their marketing ploys and all of that. So it's a lot of, like, you put in a ton of work to grow your brand, and then Twitch is taking that brand and benefiting from it, which makes sense. They have to make a living as well. So that's one aspect. The next thing as well is Twitch takes a massive cut from the people. So if you are donating bits to people, yes, people get 100% of the bits, in the sense that if you give them 100 bits, they get $1. That's how the math works. But in order for you to buy 100 bits, you're essentially buying $1.3 worth of, like, you're trading $1.3 of your value, or currency, sorry. So Twitch is actually taking, and that math is probably wrong, but the percentage is 30% approximately. So all of the bits that has been traded on Twitch is already 30%, like, it's 30% revenue that the streamer could, like, the people you're trying to support by getting them bits, you could have given them $1.30 instead of just giving them $1. And I'm not saying that as in, like, give me all the money and I'm greedy and I don't want to support the platform. Not at all. I think it's very important that Twitch thrives. But I also think that it's very important that they are involving themselves in a partnership rather than slave work. And I say that knowing that it sounds really bad, but the contract that Twitch has with the creators on the platform is so unfair towards the creators. It's insane. And it's insane that they're even getting away with it. And then I have another point, which is, as a streamer on Twitch, you have, or as an affiliate or a partner, you have in your contract exclusivity with Twitch, which means any content that you produce on Twitch or upload to Twitch cannot go anywhere else on the internet within 24 hours. So, in other words, it means that it's Twitch and that's it. Obviously, you can take the VODs, upload them 24 hours later, but there is a thing that's called multi-streaming. Multi-streaming basically lets me, for no extra compute power, obviously I have to use more data, although that can be taken care of, but it essentially lets you take your stream and broadcast it to multiple different streaming platforms at the same time. But with the contract on Twitch, you're not allowed to do that because of the exclusivity period, which is 24 hours. So you can't expand your audience on Twitch, or rather you can't expand your audience more than what Twitch allows. And that gets me into the next point, which is on Twitch there is no discoverability. You don't go on Twitch and expect to grow by just being on Twitch. because if you go through all of the channels,
Freak says they could definitely give more to the community creators.
yeah,
Not necessarily in money, but in security and a better voice or support.
yeah, that's another point I'll get to in a second. Actually, let's just take it now because I forgot what I was talking about. So, in the sense of like security and so forth as well, with the exclusivity, it also means that when you're finally grown on Twitch as a platform, because you have been exclusively on Twitch, it means that you only have, like, you have essentially all of your eggs in one basket, which also means that if Twitch decides to ban you, which I saw on Twitter this morning, a great example of, you have nothing. Everything you built is gone if Twitch decides to pull the plug on you, and you can't do anything about it. And then on top of that, they have the greatest insult of all, which is their support is non-existent. So if you get banned, they don't tell you why, other than the generic automated email, which is like, what am I supposed to do with this? You're not pointing out the exact point in time where I made a mistake that made me lose my income. If this is your full-time job, for me it's not a problem because it's not. So all of that, like, again, in the contract, exclusivity with Twitch, and then they can fuck you over in a moment because you have exclusivity with the platform. So they're taking away all of your stuff. Like, they own your content, which is crazy. I mean, at least ask for permission, but they don't even have to do that. They could just use it as they want in all of their marketing. Most people would be compensated for that. And then, hi Morigu. It's just insane to me that they're getting away with that. And I was talking about something else before I went on the rant about the insecurity of the platform and having all of your eggs in one basket. Yeah, no warnings, no nothing. I mean, for some cases, yeah, that makes sense that they don't have to give a warning. Like, if you are killing people on stream, they can just take it down. That makes sense. But like, for some things, it's like it doesn't really make sense that they have that much power. Hi. It should readjust this. So yeah, that is one of the things. Oh yeah, the multi-streaming thing. So yeah, essentially, when you're only locked into one platform, and like I can only stream on Twitch, that also means I can't expose myself on Facebook, I can't expose myself on YouTube with live streaming. And I'm not saying that that's a like.
Unusual_freak says, oh absolutely, I meant in the case where the reason isn't as apparent.
Oh yeah. So like in some cases, when you're trying to grow your stream, that's the discoverability that was what I was talking about. So Twitch is impossible to be discovered, and especially now that with all of the DMCA stuff, like
Julian says average bitrate
you can be mad.
62 kilobits per second.
You can be mad about how the DMCA works and say that it's outdated and they need to change it. But a quote that I shared when I shut down the anti-harassment system was, instead of using your energy complaining about the things that you can't change, you should use your energy to work on work with the things that you can. So like, instead of us sitting around saying, oh, that sucks, they should change it, and like, we're spending a lot of energy focusing on that negative, that, oh, we can't do anything about it, they should do something about it. Instead of like having that mindset, I want to flip it 180 and say, okay, that's fine, I'll just go do the things that I know I can, and then you can sail your own boat and I'll find better waters. Like, fuck you guys, in the sense of like, fuck you Twitch. Like, I'm so done with focusing on the things that I can't do anything about. I'd rather take the things that I know I can change and then run with it, because I can do that. I want to go down to the lake, that's why I'm walking this way. Also, just catching my breath real quick. So yeah, essentially on Twitch, as you can't be discovered, it also means that, well, if you're streaming essentially anything on Twitch, you have like, you're bouncing between those like 2 to 5 viewers, 1 to 10 viewers. If you're down in that bracket, it's really, really difficult to get into a place where people will find your stream naturally on Twitch. That's when you start relying on networking, and networking is great to an extent. Organic growth.
Freak says it's like complaining that the days are shorter, like you can't do anything about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's a little annoying, but what can you do?
So I could.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Move on. There is no reason to be mad.
Agreed. And like, I know I'm running out of light and it's going to be darker in a second, and I'm going to be like, what am I going to do about that? I have a solution for it. It's called a light. But yeah, essentially, I just want to do shit instead. Because like, it's the same thing with the anti-harassment system. I realized that I'm trying to do something that people aren't ready for, which is basically, instead of complaining, I'm taking the problem by the roots and saying, fuck this, out of the way, you're not cool enough to be here because you can't behave. So instead of like fighting that losing battle that is constantly like, I have to change the mindset of the people I'm working with, telling them that use the system, because the system has tools for this. The tools will help you automate what is a laborious task now. That's basically what I work with. That's my full-time job, is taking something that is laborious and intensive work and optimizing it and automating it, so that you don't have to work as hard. Work smarter, not harder. That's basically what I work with. That's what I'm good at. It's one of the things that made me enjoy modding Minecraft. I'm just gonna stand here for a second so I don't get run over. No. Go ahead, Gabby. You do you. You do you. If it annoys me, I'll turn down TTS. Don't worry about it. I'd rather have a conversation and then we can go from that than I'm just rambling and nobody cares. So yeah, that's a lot of the things that's been going through my head. Is like, this is what I want to do. Is like, I want to take the things that I can and change them, instead of taking the things that I can't change and being mad about it. Hi, Misty. Look at that car. I don't like this corner here, because like, you're meant to walk on the left side of the road, but if you're walking on the left and people come around this corner, like this guy who's coming now, he wouldn't have been able to see me had I been on the left side of the road. So I feel like that's one of the times where you have to improvise and make your own rules. I care a lot too, because I feel like it's unfair, and Twitch is the only platform. Hear this real quick. Twitch is the only platform where they have an exclusivity deal, that you are only allowed to work with Twitch. Twitch is the only platform, until you get to certain exceptions, that you are a big influencer who has a lot of influence. So that's when they lock you in with a big contract. And we're talking multi-million-dollar contracts. That's the only time where you get those kind of exclusivity deals, when you're talking about influencers. On Facebook and YouTube, I've heard several rumors and probably realistic expectations of people actually being able to have a partnership with YouTube as well as Facebook at the same time. And Twitch is like, well, fuck that. You're locked to our platform, even if you're making $2 a month. Locked to our platform, your brand, everything. I'm doing good too.
Origami Pete says, hey Misty, doing good.
Up the Rebels. We are in Denmark, and we're currently walking next to a big city called Vissenbjerg.
Kingelmer Julian
Yes,
says
Vissenbjerg.
average bitrate 6,851 kilobits per second.
And I'm just rambling because I'm crazy. I didn't see that comment, sorry.
Misty 16X says if good.
Look at this beautiful lake though. Would you look at that? I love this area. It's very pretty, especially in the autumn when all the trees are orange, not like now. And you have the moon over here and the reflection of the water and everything is dark and you can't see anything. But what was I saying?
Misty 16X says stunning.
So this lake you're actually out to fish in as well?
_freak says it looks gorgeous. Up the Ripples says very nice. Thanks.
Oh yeah, all of the exclusivity stuff. I'm so mad about the exclusivity.
Streamer Lemons says come join the Prometheus Discord at https.
Because it's like it's probably that one thing that actually breaks the entire deal. Like I could live with not necessarily them owning your brand. I feel like that's ridiculous as well. But it's just they are getting so much out of they're getting so much of the benefits on that contract compared to what the creators are getting.
_freak says, but then for what you were saying, I've seen people upload their VODs to YouTube. That's not allowed.
It is allowed if you do it more than 24 hours after you have uploaded it on Twitch. So if you start a stream on Twitch at 12 p.m. and you stream on till like midnight, then you have to wait 24 hours from midnight to send that content into the air on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, so forth, everything. Like, and that's, to me, that's crazy. But that's only the live streamable content. So if you take it and you cut it down, although I don't know of anyone who does that within 24 hours. I know that Gabby Carbon does her Instagram posts pretty quickly, like the editing and everything of that, but that's a photo that she's taken off stream, so that's not technically in the contract because it's not content that's uploaded to Twitch. So like this that thing is not such a big deal. The big deal about that one is the multi-streaming, because essentially you're on Twitch, you have, like I said, no discoverability. So if you could live stream to YouTube, on YouTube you would have the possibility of getting discovered with people browsing through and they recommend it. Your stream is likely to show up on someone's recommended feed,
_freak says interesting.
depending on the title. And the same thing on Facebook. On Facebook, if you go to the live stuff on Facebook, I don't really know how it works on Facebook yet. I've only just started looking into Facebook. But on Facebook, your stream will also be shown to people.
Unusual _freak says, is YouTube better for streaming then?
Yes and no. It really depends on the content you're doing. So Twitch is going to, in the future, and they're actually doing it right now. So recently there was a ban on a big streamer called XQC. And XQC was the president of, like, why is this gonna happen? Like, that was when the nail hit the coffin, so to speak, and what's gonna happen.
_freak says, I know only one creator that streams on Facebook.
I don't know of any yet. It really depends on what content they're doing as well. I've seen some IRL content on Facebook, which I think is interesting. But it also depends on like market saturation. Twitch is really saturated because there's what, 50 million, I can't remember the number, so I'm not going to say anything about that. But there's a lot of streamers compared to the amount of viewers. So if you want to make it on Twitch, your chances are very slim.
_freak says he does gaming.
Because there's a lot of competition on Twitch. Twitch has 70% of the market share.
_freak says, and podcast, I guess.
Yeah, Twitch has 70% of the market share, and I think YouTube was 20%, and then Facebook and others were like 10% when it came to gaming content. And I want to emphasize that gaming content and esports content. So that's cool and all. And then you have all of the other things we're talking about, like art, body paints, IRL streaming, all of that stuff. On Twitch, it's unheard of. Like, you see it every day. We go on a body painting stream. It's like, oh my God, is this allowed on Twitch? And it's like, what the fuck, man? Do you think we would be streaming on Twitch if it wasn't allowed? Like, we would probably be banned. Like, come on. Are you that dumb? Wake up, man. So yeah, in that sense, body painting in IRL on Twitch is minimal. We're talking about a total of what I could find from the stats, and these stats only track people who have been over 5 viewers at some point, I think I heard. So talking about that, I think the number for the last month was a total of about 50,000 streamers in body painting and the travel and outdoors categories. And then there's a lot of people who are using just chatting as the category. And then comes in the other argument, why are we not enforcing category rules? Like, if you are doing art, you are not just chatting, you are doing art. And I know that is a big discussion point, because like, if I'm not just chatting, I can't grow. And I know right now I'm running around outside in the channel just chatting, and the category just chatting, whereas it should maybe be in travel and outdoors because we're outdoors. But I also feel like we're just chatting right now. So, and it's the same argument that they're using with the body painting and art. It's like, well, I'm not just doing art, I'm also just chatting. So it's like a gray zone. And then we're back to Twitch TOS being not black and white, but very, very gray. And then at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, if Twitch wants to ban you, they'll do it, even if they have a reason or not, because they don't share the reason with you. And then that reminded me of what I was saying with XQC, is Twitch and Twitch rivals, very important, Twitch rivals banned XQC. On Twitch he was banned for 7 days, Twitch rivals he's banned for 6 months because he was stream sniping. And then it's like, how do we know it was because he was stream sniping? They actually released a statement on it, telling exactly what it was he did, which rules he broke. And the only reason why they did that is because it's Twitch rivals. And Twitch rivals is the up and coming thing on Twitch. It's gonna be a huge esports broadcasting agency, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And Twitch is pumping a lot of money into Twitch rivals because they need it to be successful, because they need to start making money. And Twitch has a huge part of all the viewership when it comes to esports. So esports is what you're hearing me saying all the time, which also just emphasizes they don't care about art. They don't care about music. Music is on there because a lot of people were yelling about it. So we're down to the esports. Esports is what Twitch will emphasize on, and that's what the platform has been before that as well, is gaming. That is how Twitch started growing, and they're kind of falling back to that. So we're just ending up with more esports. I'm just gonna grab the light because I think it's too dark for you guys to actually see stuff now. So I'm gonna grab a light and look funny.
But they did not directly tell him, right?
They told him.
Tweet or something.
I don't know if they directly told him. I'm not sure about that. But I do know that it was publicly stated why he was banned with the exact reasons. Okay, you're gonna lie down for a second instead of me breaking the camera by accident. Sorry about that. But that's a huge change in the way they've done things, because normally they don't tell people why they get banned. Like they get the generic email, as we were talking about. And like that generic email is like whatever.
Julian says average bitrate 6,231 kilobits per second.
I think it's ridiculous what they're getting away with.
Unusual_freak says taking a nap. On the ground it's fine, Kappa.
Actually on a bench. I'm not that savage. I put you guys down on a bench. Don't worry, you're not getting dirty. No dirty here. Oh my god, this new arrangement in the backpack is great. I love it. Where is my 12 volt? Is it that one? It is that one.
Unusual_freak says, ooh, the bench, okay, thank you.
The master Trank has said it is okay to be on a bench, not in the ground. No, everything is muddy here, so I didn't really want to give you guys the muddy experience of being on the ground. So yeah, I'm just gonna get out a light. That also means I can't drink, so I should probably do that now too. Because when I'm gonna be holding the light, it's gonna be, I don't think I can fit it into a pocket. But yeah, it's quite interesting how that ban was so well described. And if you think about it, what XQC did was he interfered with a competitive game. Unfortunately, that game was Fall Guys, so it's like, what the fuck? But because he interfered with that game, not only did he get a ban on Twitch for 7 days, which is unheard of, like that's a long ban for someone the size of XQC. 7 days. Oh, I'm gonna have a problem, aren't I? I don't necessarily enjoy this setup that much then. Because I think, unless I'm fast enough, I wasn't fast enough. We'll have to try that one more time. So the problem is, maybe I should just put you guys on the shoulder instead. Should I? Should I not? I don't know. The problem is the battery I have, it automatically turns off to save power, that's great. Don't use power if you don't need to, right? But it does it within the time it takes me to put the backpack on my back. So the light won't turn on if that happens. That's a problem. There we go, that's a light. Very bright light. Bear with me. We'll get this to be smooth sailing.
Kinglemer Julian says average bitrate 2837 kilobits per second.
Need to arrange this right. Arrange it right. Oh my goodness, that was bright. Hello brightness, my old friend. Now I can't see shit again. Okay, that's one thing. Next is the other arm. That's the other arm. That's great. Phone didn't fall. That would have been insane. Okay, that's that. Very nice, very nice. Probably turn down the brightness on the light a bit, all the way as I can, because I have a feeling it's going to be extremely bright. Hello? It is I, the darkness, who can't see where I'm going because there's a light. That's actually a problem. I mean, I can just turn it around like this, then I can see. But hi. Spooky. But yeah, I think it's should get a portable ring light instead. That would probably be better for this kind of stuff.
Unusual_freak says let's be careful here. Chroma Karina says hi Chroma 12 hey.
Hi Chroma. Hello, hello. But yeah, that's a lot of the reasons why I decided to do as I did. And
Unusual_freak says Chroma 12 hard.
Just checking if there's shit on the lens. I mean, now the cars can definitely see me, although we're not on the road, so it's okay. You have to go out on the road to get back.
Says Gabby, lovely 155 love.
What was I saying? Oh well, we've just been rambling about it. I think I covered most of it. And then I didn't really cover what the new ideas, well, what I kind of want to take stuff, because I didn't really get into that yet. So let's just start going, I guess. So some of the new things that I've been thinking about doing is it's kind of related to work, because right now at work we're working a lot from home, which is, for me, it's whatever. Like, I suck at concentrating from home, so I'll have to like learn and deal with that and figure that out. But one of the things that you don't have when you work from home is interactions with other people. So then we're back over into mental health.
Julian says average bit rate 3,585 kilobits per second.
And mental health is, again, a big thing. Like, it's something we all deal with. So it's very important to talk about, I feel. Even though it's kind of difficult to talk about it because it's such a taboo topic. Ooh, spooky. But yeah, there's a few things that we have the tools for that we're not doing, which I find this is absolutely ridiculous, because like, why are we not using it if we have the tools for it? So that's a few things that I want to take up and like start working with, and probably like not necessarily making a business out of it, but using those as some of the tools that I like. That's my unique thing, is that I know how to take inefficient things and make them efficient.
Unusual_freak says taboo as much as hard to talk about and put words on what's going on.
Yeah. And I want to take, not because it's like it's something that comes close to me, because I literally spent half of 2020 not working because of mental health. Like the first 3 months of maybe 3.5 months, I don't even know, I was actually not at work at all. And it's not something I've told that many people, because quite frankly, it's not something that I'm super proud of. Because like, why can't I work? Why do I have to take this break when nobody else has to? And I know that's not true. Somebody else out there in the world probably had to take this break as well. Or several, or others, or longer or shorter. Like, it doesn't really matter how big the severity of it is. It's just the fact that it happens. It happens, and it's like, well, we can choose to deal with it and live with it, and just like learn from it. But a lot of the times it never leaves the shadows, because it's something that, like, I don't know why, but it's something that we put shame into, and it's like, why do we do that? It's a natural thing. It's basically what I'm trying to say. Is like, it's something that we all go through, and it's something we all deal with at some point. Some more than others, some less than others. It all depends on, like, it's all part of the random roles that we got when we were born. Right? Like, it's part of our stats. and yeah, like, let's just talk about it instead, because there's no shame in it. And I want to emphasize that there's no shame in it. Like, some things we just can't do, and then we'll have to find something else we can, like, play to our strengths. Back to the quote of like, let's change the things we can rather than fight the things we can't. Like, use your energy for the things that you have an impact on, instead of using the energy for the things that you can't have an impact on. And then it all goes full circle again, right? Oh my goodness, this is... It's just... I think it's important that we start changing that, not necessarily changing the mentality, but bringing awareness to it, that it is okay to say, I can't deal with that, but you know what? I can do something else. Because I think that's where we start learning and gaining value. It's when we start taking the values that we have and using them instead of trying to do what society says is the value. And then we're back into more history when we're talking about, like, was it the masses of the world that changed how the world works? No, it was a few individuals who had some idea, and they took that idea and put it into motion. And somehow that's what the world is going on now, is that idea that some individual had. So it's the few people who changes the masses. You don't have to be a million people to change something. You can do it by doing it the way that you believe in. Like, you have a lot more power than you think. So that's, yeah, a little bit of an inspirational quote from today. Although I can't take credit for that. I've read that somewhere else. I can't remember where, I can't remember who. My mind is all over the place right now. What time is it, by the way? I'm like turning the camera so if you can tell me what time it is. Because I can't see my phone. It's 5 o'clock. So we have 3 hours. 3 hours to movie night, right? I think so. So we got a bit of time. I was just making sure that we can get back before it gets too late. Darkness is not a problem. We fixed that. I don't know how much you can see, but it's better than nothing. So 5 hours, okay. I don't think we can be outside for another 5 hours because it's cold. I mean, we probably could. But then we'd have to make High Farm come and get me and like thaw me. And then another idea I had that I wanted to like start working with is I have a lot of experience with being on not necessarily social media, but I have a lot of experience with streaming, and I want to take that experience and not necessarily like, it's not necessarily about streaming to like Twitch and YouTube and so forth. It's about taking that knowledge that I have about the technology behind it and using it for like making small changes here and there, because when we're talking about everything that's going on in the world, like COVID and so forth, a lot of us can't do the things that we want to do, like go to a shop, go to a museum, all of that stuff. I don't think we can solve the shopping problem other than just buy shit online or buy it from your local store when nobody's around. But what we can do is virtual tours on the specific, like around on museums and stuff like that. And I think a lot of the information that I have about the technology is really great for setting up a cost-efficient setup. And we need cost-efficient setups because nobody can afford that one is so long. But yeah, nobody can afford like that super expensive, like massive studio to do streaming and virtual tours. No worries, no worries. Yeah, no worries. It's fine.
Marina says, yeah, telling someone not to worry just makes it worse usually.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry about that. Oh, okay. And I'm probably pretty guilty of it myself because it's difficult sometimes. Like, how do you actually support a friend if they're not doing great? Like, what do you do? And it's difficult because I don't know, but I try. I just need my breath.
Chroma Karina says, okay, well then why am I worried about it if I'm not supposed to? Why do I feel this way if I'm not supposed to worry about it? Kingleberg Julian says average bitrate
Agreed.
216 kilobits per second.
Agreed. I know it doesn't look of much because it's completely pitch black, but that was a pretty steep hill. Probably can't even show. I'm surprised I made it up without dying. That's pretty good. Well done. But yeah, all of those feelings are really valid, and
Says your stream kinda got the Blair Witch vibe going, winking face.
that's good. That's good. That's the best kind of streams we do. It's the ones where we're like, what was that?
Chroma Karina says, I one time had to tell my grandmother that I have anxiety and she was like, oh, I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, that's because I'm really good at hiding it from you.
Yeah. It's something that you learn over time because at least I've experienced it, is every time you come out and you tell someone, I'm not feeling great, then they either try to fix you, which they can't because there is no easy fix for mental health. It's not a fix as such. It's about, I don't even know how to put that because it's difficult.
Amy B says,
It's really difficult. And then sometimes you get a really, really negative outcome from telling people about it. So when you get a really negative outcome from telling people about it, thank you. I'll give you guys a hug as well with the light. Yes, of course. But yeah, a lot of the times if you tell people about it, you get like it's a negative outcome because like they don't know what to do. It's like, and when you don't know what to do, it's difficult, right? And then it turns out badly, and then from all of those bad experiences you've had with telling people about it, you just start learning that maybe I should just hide it, because even though it sucks hiding it and it hurts, it's less hurtful than getting a bunch of, like, it's less hurtful than losing people in your life because you tell them about it. Ooh, mud ASMR. Ooh. Yeah, and it's so I really want to make a difference in that, and also because my story, it might not be unique, but it's my story, and it's a story that I can tell people because it's something I've been through. I'm not necessarily out.
I don't blame anyone for tell that, but it could be better if people were more aware, and even if they have a generic response to it, it could save some people.
So yeah, that's.
Ask if you can do something, if they need anything or just a safe space to talk. They don't necessarily always need a bigger help than someone to talk to.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to give. And you don't necessarily have to like have the answers. Like, that's not necessarily what people are looking for. I'm not looking for the answers. I just need someone I can, sorry to put it, like for me, it's like I just need someone I can complain to sometimes. Like, that's all I need. I just need them to say, yes, that fucking sucks. You got this though. You can make it out on the other side. And that's for me. Like, that's how that's how I need it. And I'm normally the one who comes up with the answers, and I think a lot of people do that themselves as well. Is yep, that's the reason why we're good friends, Chroma. You know what to tell me. It's like, yeah, that sucks. You'll probably figure it out. Yep, I'll probably figure it out, although it takes me a few days. Hello? Is anybody there? I don't know how much I'm blinding you guys with this light. It's pretty bright. It's probably pretty blinding. Look, it's the car. We found it. But yeah, what I was basically saying is one of the things that I learned while I was in therapy the beginning of this year, which is also another thing that I haven't really talked to people about, is I was actually into some pretty heavy duty therapy to figure out what the fuck's going on and what are we going to do about it. And yeah, I learned a few things from that, and I also learned that I have some resources. Or me. Yeah. And I can say that personally, that Chroma is a person who's really good to talk with when you have a bad day, because Chroma knows what the fuck's going on.
Unusual_freak says I say that a lot, but at the same time, I just blast positivity and try to direct people to a better path.
Yeah.
Kingwilmer Julian says average bitrate 3,683 kilobits per second.
I think one of the important things that I learned in therapy
Unusual_freak says Chroma is fantastic. Chroma Karina says Gabby, you've helped me more than you know, and I appreciate the fuck out of you for that Chroma 12 part.
Yeah.
Origami Heat says Chroma, you're an angel.
Can we get some Chroma love in the chat? Because I feel like that's where we're headed right now, and I feel like it's very important to also acknowledge that Chroma, you are a huge player in everything here, and I say that from the bottom of my heart, that it means a lot when you're around, and I can also hear in people that they agree. So.
Freak says I love you. Chroma 12 hard. 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 Chroma 12 hard.
I can't. I have both my hands full.
Chroma Karina says alternatively, we could not make Chroma cry. Merriman says a Chroma Karina less than 3.
As long as it's happy tears, I'll take that. I'll take the happy tears. Do I need to move my car? I think he can make it. I think I might have to move it a bit though. But yeah, well, we were talking about that huge tractor up here earlier, and I think we found it.
Origami Pete says all of you are genuinely fantastic people, and I'm really glad I know you.
I'm just gonna wait for the tractor to make it through. I don't even know if he has any cattle on the... Oh, sorry, I'm blinding. Blinded by the light. I don't think he has any cattle up here because he's just left the gate open. Was the gate open when we arrived? I can't even remember. It probably was then. But yeah, what I was saying was through my therapy, one thing I learned a lot was that sometimes it's important to just let out the negative things. Like you go most of the time and you attempt to suppress feelings because you don't have time to deal with it. Like you have to make sure that you are like, or rather not make sure, but you feel like you have to.
Unusual_freak says, I'm just there to help, Chroma. Or anyone even. I think I'm a safe person to talk to. I try my best to be there for people, and make sure they're alright. Friends especially.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, sometimes you gotta let out the negative things and just let it out. So sometimes that means you have to take like some time off and just literally break down.
Says, can confirm, Gabby is an excellent listener. Origami says purple heart Gabby.
So you basically have to take some time off and give yourself the time to actually like break down and let things out. Because when you suppress mental health, it often leads to a ton of other complications. And it doesn't even have to be mental health like complications. It actually becomes physical health problems too.
Origami Pete says, I would like to take this opportunity to offer my ear too.
I appreciate that. And as always, there's always the channels in Prometheus as well with the mental health resources. Always a good place to start. It also has the resources of like, how do I help my friends without it becoming the malicious kind of help that we probably all met once or twice in our lives, if not more. And I also learned that my story, while it's not necessarily a unique story because other people have heard this before, that these things do happen to people. Like you grow up in a home that's not a happy home, so to speak, to say it mildly, and things evolve from one thing to another. Like while that's not necessarily an uncommon story, and that kind of sucks that it's not an uncommon story, it's a story that I have, and it's a story that I can bring out and talk to people about and tell them, well, you might be in that situation, but it's okay. It's okay. Everything that's happening to you is valid. It's not something that you have to hide and have to be ashamed of, because it happens. And it's very important that you get the tools that you need when you're in that situation to deal with the situation and come out on the other side in a state where you can continue living life, although it be not as it is for people who have not experienced this. Like there will always be things in your backpack, which is quite ironic. I'm wearing a backpack, we're talking about a backpack. There will always be things that you have that you bring with you, and it's your choice what you're going to do with these things. It's like, are you going to emphasize what your past was, or are you going to acknowledge that it was there and then take all the things that you learned from your past and then use that to your advantage instead. And I think I want to be at that point where I say, I'm going to take the things that I've experienced in my life, and rather than being ashamed of it, I'm going to be proud of it and take those things and then tell people about them. Not necessarily like every single little dirty detail of what was going on, but more so like, I've been through some shit. I know what it's like to go through all of those things. I might not know your situation specifically, but I might be able to give you a perspective that there is a possibility of getting out on the other side and taking all of those things that you now see as weaknesses and using them as your strengths instead. Like that's the thing I want to push. That's what I want to give to the world, and I have a few ideas of how to do it. And we were actually talking about it, and then COVID happened, and we were like, oh my goodness, what the fuck? So the idea that I had together with the therapist a long time ago, it is very difficult, but it's a lot easier to learn it if you have someone to look up to and someone to not necessarily compare against, but say, hey, there's someone else who's had similar experience, not the same experience, but a similar experience, who's made it. And if they can do it, then so can you. You got it. You can do whatever the fuck you want. The only one who can take the banner and lead it the way you want to go is you.
Says your past, your negative feelings, your weaknesses, they don't define you.
They don't. They really don't. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, a lot of the, I made a lot of videos back in the day from just gaming, playing Call of Duty, doing whatever. And a lot of those videos I made, I don't have them anymore. And I stopped doing that, but they were actually quite successful videos for what YouTube was back then. I had YouTube partnership and all of that, but because I had someone in my family who was telling me that that's not a real job, that's not something you can do, and it's whatever, I believed in them, and I took that to heart, and I was just like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and do whatever I want to do in school. And then I sat in school and slowly died inside. Like, I don't know. It's funny because when I look at myself, I would never have said 10 years ago that I'm a creative person. But there's a few things that changed over the last 10 years, not necessarily personality-wise.
But it is possible. But facing all of your own shit can be the most difficult thing to do.
Yes.
But if you're willing to fight that fight, then it is possible.
Yeah.
Origami Pete says absolutely. Don't let the clouds block out the sun.
Exactly. And
Kinglemer Julian says average bitrate 3,855 kilobits per
I have gone completely scatterbrained. It's funny. Oh yeah, 10 years ago, I would never have said that I was a creative person. Like, I don't draw, I don't do whatever the fuck. And then today it's like, oh well, have you seen some of the stuff I've drawn? There might not be like super artist stuff at all, but it's still like, you can tell what I'm trying to tell you with my drawing. Like, you can see what it is. It's not just the scribble. I can make videos, I can write code, and to my surprise, coding is actually a creative process. I think you're right there.